cared for the earth since the beginning of time. We are the stewards, the caretakers, the keepers of the land, air, and water. We are the indigenous people of the world, and we are using our traditional ways and science to protect Mother Earth. I'm Steve Sxwithul'txw, and welcome to Down to Earth. On our show today, we're traveling to Western Canada, where we'll meet two Indigenous educators who are introducing students to traditional foods on guided nature walks. We'll also travel to Belize, where environmentally conscious tourists can take part in a Ranger for a Day program. And later on the show, we'll meet Clayton Thomas Mueller, an international leader in the environmental justice movement. For students living in urban communities, going on a hike in the forest is not a typical school activity. But thanks to an innovative program run by two Aboriginal educators in Victoria, Canada, young people are not only getting out into nature for a day, they're also learning about local Indigenous history. As Art discovers when he joins a group of students on a field trip, a forest can be a remarkable classroom.
One of the reasons why we bring you here to this spot is because we want to show you all of the woods here. We have lived here for a very long time. European people have only been here for 150 years. This is where we got everything. So whenever you were walking out into the woods, you were always looking. Everybody would be teaching you what to look for. So school was always in, but it was school in a different way. We've been doing this for probably about 5 years. And so over the last while, children in the schools and the teachers have been finding out more about the local areas around here. And a lot of them are really starting to understand how we were really tied to the land. And the children are starting to understand that. What we're going to be showing you today is how things are all tied together. So how our spirituality, how our daily living, how our medicines, how our stories all come together because of this. This tree up here?
It started out with my experience of taking kids out and them being what we call now nature deficit. And I said to him, well, how many kids from the city know anything about outside that? So we sat down and started working together. And with Mark having the experience of working with the kids in the schools for a long time, we decided to bring kids out on these kind of, we call them cultural awareness field trips. So exposing them to nature and to the Coast Salish territory. But one of the main reasons you would take this if you were having a little stomach problem. One of the jobs that you'd have would be if your elder came to you and said, you know, I'm not feeling so good. I need that plant.
After they understand it, and they taste the licorice fern, and they see the culturally modified trees and all that, they understand that, oh, you can't take everything.
And you talked a lot about interrelation and how everything is tied together. That whole concept of holistic, coming from our traditional philosophies and outlook on life, how hard is that to teach?
After we've brought them out here and we start showing them things, then they start understanding. But prior to that, no, they only see it in the ways that it might have been in the books. Everybody had to know what food was, right? So here's your test. I have 4 different clam shells here. Which clams are really, really good for eating? Okay, what's this one's name?
Oyster.
Oyster.
Yes.
Bonus. What's this? Any ideas? Oh man, you guys are going to starve to death. This was the best clam to eat. They would come from a long ways away. And this was a great beach to come to get this clam. There's oyster, little neck, butter,
and
cockle. Nice job.
Other people that want to have a similar program that are also in an urban environment, what kind of advice would you offer to them?
Taking them out just for a walk in a local park and getting them to just touch a tree, pick up dirt. We have so many kids who are so afraid of dirt now. They're like, oh, you know, I don't want to get dirty, but this is Mother Earth and this is what gives us life. Mark has shown you a picture of the people that were here. And to prove that, what we have is midden. Midden is an old term for garbage dump. And you can see right from the very bottom all the way to the top, the Coast Salish were coming down here. For hundreds of years, they would throw their clamshells. As well, in that pile, there will be bones, there will be broken tools. So that midden could be thousands of years old.
So using the hands-on approach, they probably pay a little bit more attention when they go back in the classroom and look at some of these things in their textbooks and regular learning.
We try to make the teachers make sure that there's some sort of follow-up. The way that we are right now, so many children are doing video games, they're cut off from their neighbors, or cut off from friends, they don't have any connections like that, and they never get out in the woods. We started out very, very small. First couple times we only had 3 or 4 journeys in a year. Last year we did 85. So this plant right here is ironwood. Right? Now how we can tell it, see this right here? So this is classic of spirea or ironwood. So this is really hard. It's really hard. That's why they call it ironwood. So you break off a chunk of this here, and that's what you'd use to make that.
This outdoor education, it's a real foundation. It's science, you know, it's biology. It's everything. It goes back to our traditional ways.